Hello and welcome. If we haven't met before, my name is Julia. I am the Youth Services Librarian at the Penticton Public Library. Just wanted to talk to you a little bit about Summer Reading Club because summer is nearly here, even though currently it's raining. Obviously, if you've done it before, it's going to be a little bit different this year. So just wanted to talk a little bit like that, talk about how it's going to go. So the theme this year is Explore Our Universe, and we hope that you'll join us. So a couple of different things going on. The BC SRC, so the province-wide program, they're doing more of an online version than they usually do. So you may have checked it out before, but it might be a little bit expanded this year. So you can sign up online, and they have various activities. They've got crafts on there. They have an Ask an Astronomer segment that's going to happen as well. But you can also register online with us. And that is how you get your reading log, your reading record, if you've had one of those before. So that's the expandable booklet where you keep track of what you're reading, collect stickers as you go. And we have also added, because we're not really able to do programs in the library this summer, we've made our own activity book so that you can do kind of a lot of the things that we would normally do in a program at home. So there are puzzles, there are crafts, there's some STEAM activities, there are games that you can play at home with your family. And there's probably more stuff in there that I'm forgetting. Anyway, registering with us, you can tell us that you want one of those, and then you'll have some fun stuff to do each week through the summer. They all go along our weekly themes. We're also going to have some take and make kits available through the library each week for some of the projects if you don't have the stuff at home to do them. So we will have a limited number of those available, and it's just going to be first come, first served for those ones. The other thing is, normally we do programs at the library, of course, and because we can't do some of those things, we're going to reproduce a little bit of that online. So each week we'll be doing storytelling and possibly puppet shows, and again, a craft or STEAM kind of activity, maybe some other stuff as well. Stay tuned. So we'll be live streaming on Facebook, and if you can't watch it on Facebook Live, then you'd be able to catch up later on Facebook or on our YouTube. So that's that. The other exciting thing, we will still have prizes. So again, signing up with us is the way that you get yourself registered so you can be eligible for prizes. We have lots of great ones. We have gift certificates from Serious Science, Dragon's Den, and Chapters, along with some interesting little treasures and lots of great books. So those are all possible things that you can do. So you can do the online BCSRC one, or you can do ours, or you can do both, because, hey, more is more. And also, if there are older kids in your family, we do have a teen summer takeover. So our teen programmer, Lara, is running that. And so there's a booklet for that. Registration starts tomorrow, June 24th. It's online on our website. If you have any questions, please call Lara on our regular number. So that's 250-770-7781. Just ask for Lara. She'll be able to answer your questions. Is there anything else I was supposed to tell you about Summer Reading Club? I think we just about covered up most of that kind of stuff. If you do have any questions about Summer Reading Club, you can get in touch with me, Julia. So my number is 250-770-7783. And we hope lots of you take us up on that. Okay, so usually I like to tell a story when I visit schools, and because I obviously won't be visiting schools, I don't want to leave you without your story fix, so I thought I would tell you one, and I've wanted to tell this one for a while. It's not quite the original version, which is a book called The Blabbermouths by Gerda Mantenband, and that was a book published by Greenwillow, but I've kind of adapted it a little bit to tell you my own version of that story. So here we go. So long ago and far away, there was a farmer. He was walking along a quiet road through the woods, and he saw kind of a sad-looking old lady. Her cart and her horse, she had broken down by the side of the road. And she was just sitting there. He said, do you need some help? She said, yes, I've been sitting here for ages and no one even stopped to talk to me. He said, oh, that's terrible. Well, how can I help? She said, well, can you fix my cart? He said, I'll try. So actually was able to fix her cart quite easily. She was so grateful. She said, oh, I would like to give you a reward. And he said, well, you don't have to do that. He was thinking, she looks like she can't afford to give anybody a reward. You really don't have to do anything. He said, it's fine. She said, no, I want to give you a reward. So she handed him a great big heavy box. And he said, well, thank you. She said, but I have to warn you, don't tell anybody about your good fortune because the results could be unfortunate. He said, nah, don't have to worry about me. What am I, a blabbermouth? No problem. Okay, said the little old lady, thank you again, goodbye. And she flicked the reins, she smiled, she waved goodbye, and she was gone as if she'd never been there. Well, the man walked back home along the road, and he got home, he put the box down on the table, and he opened it up. Do you know what it was full of? It was full of gold. So much gold. Oh, he said, wow, who knew that little old lady had all this gold to give away? That's amazing. And then he said, oh, I'm not supposed to tell anybody. But his wife came in. Well, of course he had to tell her. He said, look what happened. And he told her the story of helping the old lady. He said, but you can't tell anybody. He said, she warned me, if you tell other people about your good fortune, bad things can happen. She said, what am I, a blabbermouth? I'm not going to tell anybody. No problem. Okay. But before the afternoon was even over, she ran into her next door neighbor. And she just couldn't keep it inside. She said, you know what happened to my husband today? You'll never believe it. And she told her all about it. But she said, don't tell anybody. Bad things could happen. The neighbor said, no problem. What am I, a blabbermouth? I'm not going to tell anybody. But of course she did. And the someone she told somebody else. And the someone they told somebody else. And somebody told somebody, and somebody told somebody, until everybody knew. And pretty soon, word got round to the local lord of the manor. And when he heard about a bag full of gold, he thought, I would like some of that. I think the farmer should pay taxes, perhaps, on that gold. So he said that the farmer and his wife needed to come to him and explain about the gold next week. The farmer said, what are we going to do? And the wife said, it's next week. I'll think of something. Well, 2 days later, the wife thought of something. And she went off to a town quite far away. And she went and she bought donuts. Donuts are the solution to lots of problems. She went and she bought donuts. She bought all of the donuts in 3 different shops. And she brought them all home. And she hid them. And then she sent her husband out on an errand. And while he was away, she took the donuts and she sprinkled them around the farm. She tossed a few up on the roof. She tossed some up in the trees. She tossed them around. There were donuts everywhere. And when her husband came back, he was amazed. He was, where did all these donuts come from? She said, it was unbelievable. She said, it was amazing. We had a storm while you were away, and donuts rained out of the sky. Really? He said, donuts? Raining? That's fantastic. And he tasted one. They're delicious. She said, I know. Well, they enjoyed the donuts. But a couple of days later, the wife said to her husband, you know what? I've heard something. I've heard some very bad news, some rather upsetting, frightening news. And he said, what is it? Well, she said, creatures from another place outside of the earth. Oh my goodness, there are creatures from another world coming here. And they're dangerous. Really? He said. How dangerous? She said, they have big, sharp beaks. Oh my goodness. And they'll peck us. We have to hide. He said, do you know when they're coming? She said, today. Today about 3 o'clock. Really? He said. Where are we going to hide? We should get into the house. We should close all the shutters and be very, very quiet. She said, no, they'll find us. You have to hide in the rain barrel, and I'll hide under the wheelbarrow. Okay, he said. So at 3 o'clock, he hid under the rain barrel. And his wife went and she got some chicken feed, and she scattered it on top of the rain barrel. And while he was in there, all of the chickens came up and went, and they pecked all over the rain barrel, except it sounded really, really loud inside the rain barrel. Oh my goodness, he was terrified. But eventually, all the chicken feed was gone and the noise stopped, and whew, he felt it was safe to come out. Oh my goodness, he said. I'm so glad you warned me about that. It was terrifying. Were you okay under the wheelbarrow? She said, yeah, I'm fine. Oh, goodness. Well, they were both very relieved. The next week, they had to go and see the Lord of the Manor. And the Lord of the Manor said, well, what is all this about a bag of gold? And so the farmer told him the story of meeting the strange old woman in the woods and how she had given him this box of gold for helping her out. And the wife chimed in. She said, yes, a little old lady gave him a box of gold, a huge box, all full of gold. And she winked at the judge. And then she said, dear, did you tell him what else happened? Did you tell him about the donuts? And the farmer said, yeah, that's right. I forgot all about that. 2 days later, it rained donuts on our farm. And the Lord of the Manor said, what? And he said, yes, there was a huge storm. There were donuts everywhere, on the roof, in the trees. They were delicious. Oh my goodness, so good. Donuts, said the Lord of the Manor. Mm-hmm. And the wife said, oh, and something else. Oh, and the farmer said, oh yeah, this part was not so lucky, not so good. He said, oh my goodness, creatures from another world, aliens. Oh, they came and they visited our farm. They had huge beaks. And oh, if I hadn't been hiding under the rain barrel, and if my wife hadn't been hiding under the wheelbarrow, oh, we both would have been, I think they might have pecked us to death. It was very scary. Creatures from another world with giant beaks, raining donuts, and a box full of gold from a mysterious stranger. The Lord of the Manor looked irritated. He looked annoyed. He turned to the farmer's wife and he said, Madam, I suggest you take your husband home and don't let him trouble us again with any more silly stories. And the farmer said, but what about the box of gold? And the Lord of the Manor said, if you've got a box of gold, you can keep it. Okay, said the farmer. And they did. And the farmer and his wife and their neighbors lived happily and quietly ever after. And that's the end of the story. So, I hope you have a wonderful summer. I hope that you will join us for Summer Reading Club, and happy reading. Thanks, everybody.